Good morning, students. Today we are going to discuss how to do a problem on portal frame method. In the last class we have discussed about the assumptions, and I think you may be also knowing that there are two methods, that is portal frame method and cantilever method, especially to solve the multi-frame structures due to horizontal loads. So today we will only see how we are going to solve a portal frame method problem. So I am giving the problem directly, and we will discuss the points while solving the problem. So today we are going to solve a very simple problem. So that is a one-way 3-storied problem. So the loads I am going to mark: 20 kilonewton, 40 kilonewton, and again a 40 kilonewton load. So this structure is experiencing a total of 100 kilonewton in the lateral direction, and I am going to name the structure, that is A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So now I have to mark the distances. So the first story height is say 4 meter, and the other stories are 3 meters each, and the span is total of 6 meter. So this is the problem. So now you have to find out the bending moment diagram as well as the shear force diagram for this problem using portal frame method. So this portal frame method is an approximate method. It will not give the exact solution, but it will give the values, that is a bending moment value, shear force value and axial force value, to close proximity. And for that, presently this is actually a statically indeterminate structure. So there are two assumptions which makes this statically indeterminate structure into statically determinate structure, and thereby we can solve this problem by using the basic equations of equilibrium: sigma h is equal to 0, sigma v is equal to 0, sigma m is equal to 0. So I believe all of you know the two assumptions. So anyway, I am going to repeat it. There are two assumptions, that is the point of contraflexure occurs at all the midpoints of beams as well as columns. So you know that here there is a point of contraflexure, here there is a point of contraflexure, here there is a point of contraflexure, here another point of contraflexure. So this is actually the midpoint of a column, this is also a midpoint of a column, this is also a midpoint of a beam, this is actually a midpoint of a column, this is actually midpoint of a column. So there are, for this problem there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 hinges are there. You know that the point where the bending moment is 0. Now I have to just mark the one more assumption is there. Each interior column resists twice as much as shear force as each of the exterior columns. So here that assumption is not that assumption will not make any sense, because we have only exterior columns. So if we have an interior column, then you can say that the interior columns is going to take double the shear than the exterior column. Now we are going to solve this problem by using our equations of equilibrium. The first step 1, find the column shear. We have to find the column shear. So for that, I am trying to detail the top floor. So that is DE, and you can name the midpoints as another naming. Suppose we have totally used A, B, C, D, E, F, G. I can mark it as H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O and P. So I have marked all the interior midpoints as I, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P. So now I am going to look at only the top floor, that is you know that this point is H, this point is I, this point is J, and here you have D, and here you have E. Now you have the external load. The load is 20 kilonewton. Now we can find that this part, this section, this part of the structure is going to be in equilibrium. So here sigma H is equal to 0, sigma V is equal to 0, sigma M is equal to 0 has to satisfy for this system or this part of the structure. And here let us assume that there is a shear that is unknown P, and here also the shear, same shear P. So that is the second assumption, that is the exterior columns will be definitely having the same shear, because it is said that each interior column resists twice as much as shear force as each of the two exterior columns. So which means that the exterior column is also going to take the same shear force. So now we are going to write the sigma H is equal to 0 equation. So 20 is acting rightward, so it is plus, minus P again acting leftward, again minus P is equal to 0. So you can say that 20 minus 2P is equal to 0. So 2P is equal to 20 and your P is equal to 10 kilonewton. So you have found out the internal column shear, that is 10 kilonewton, and here also it is 10 kilonewton. Is it fine? Now we can find out the shear force. Now we are going to find out the bending moment diagram, the moments. So here you can see now we will discuss the shear. First we will complete the shear force at all the floors. After that we will try to discuss about the bending moment. So now I am going to take the shear force at the next layer. So I am drawing little bit here. So here you see this is 20 kilonewton, here again 40 kilonewton, this is 6 meter, this is 3 meter, this is 3 meter, and this is again midpoint of it, so it is actually 1.5 meter. So this point is your D, this point is your E, this point is your C, this point is your F, and this point is your L and M. Now you can see that here also shear force is acting. So since it has to be in equilibrium, definitely the shear force should act in the leftward direction. Say let us be P, here also let it be P. So the total shear, if you look at the system, 20 and 40 is there. So you have 20 plus 40 minus P is equal to 0. So 60 is equal to 2P. So your P is equal to 30 kilonewton. So the shear at the second floor you have got it as 30 kilonewton and 30 kilonewton. Then in the next, similarly you can find out the shear at the bottom floor. So you can see that. So if I mark all the shear forces, you can say that this is 20, this is 40, this is again 40. So here you can say that the shear here is 10, the shear here is 10. Similarly the shear here is 30, the shear here is 30. Similarly I am not showing 20 plus 40 plus 40, that is 100. So the half of it here, it is going to be again 50, and again here again 50. So this is how we can completely solve the shear force. Next step is we are going to draw the shear at the other. If you can mark it like, say this is A, B, C, D. Here I have marked it as hinge. The hinge, there will be another shear force, you can mark it as 10 here. If you look at CD, similarly if you look at BC, the shear it has same value, that is 30. Similarly here it is again 50, 10, 30 and 50. Now we are going to discuss about how we can find out the we will discuss about how we can find out the bending moment in the next session. Thank you.